The Galactic Council had issued the order with grim finality. A deep space outpost on the edge of the Nebary Void had gone silent. Communications had ceased for over 3 solar cycles, and no transmissions, visual or data, had emerged from the sector. It was an uncharted region of space, riddled with dense asteroid fields, unstable wormholes, and cosmic radiation pockets that even the most advanced shielding struggled to filter. In the Human Command Center on Terra Nova Station, Lieutenant Commander Orin Voss studied the holographic projection of the Nebary Void. The image flickered, showing the abandoned outpost in orbit around a jagged, crimson asteroid. Reports indicated that the alien species responsible for defending this sector, the Clytherians, had vanished, or worse, fallen. Captain Celine Myra, commanding officer of the Cadet Fleet Training Program, turned to the room of young human cadets. "This is a mission no one wants," she said, her tone even but resolute. "The Nebary Void is unforgiving. Sensors cannot penetrate its depths reliably, and communications can be lost within seconds. Many who have been sent never returned. And yet, we will send our best. This mission is not just about survival. It is about demonstrating the full potential of human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage." The room of cadets stirred. Most were fresh from the Academy of Orbital Command, barely out of their training simulations, yet their eyes burned with determination. Among them, Cadet Lyra Kane adjusted her visor, scanning the strategic hologram. She had trained for years for moments like this: intense simulations, real-time problem-solving, and coordination with both AI systems and her fellow cadets. "Captain," she said, stepping forward, "we understand the risks. But we're ready to learn and adapt. Tell us where to sign up." Her words sparked a ripple of energy throughout the room. Murmurs turned into cheers. Other cadets, previously apprehensive, now stepped forward, eager to volunteer. Cadet Joran Tyne, a tactical prodigy, grinned. "A suicide mission? Sounds like exactly the kind of challenge humanity should tackle. Count me in." Captain Myra's eyes narrowed slightly, a mixture of pride and concern. "You are cadets, not seasoned officers. This mission is not just dangerous, it is unpredictable. The Clytherians have been absent for centuries. No one knows what awaits beyond the asteroid field. Yet I see determination. Fine. You will be our advance team. You will learn, adapt, and survive. Your success will define the future of human operations in uncharted space." On the deck below, engineers worked to retrofit cadet vessels with the latest adaptive AI systems. The ships were compact but highly advanced, equipped with predictive navigation, energy shields that could reconfigure in real time, and autonomous repair drones. Every cadet vessel would operate semi-independently, yet all were networked for instantaneous coordination. The technology ensured that the cadets' intelligence and teamwork could compensate for their lack of experience. Cadet Lyra Kane and her squad, Cadet Joran Tyne, Cadet Maris Vale, and Cadet Kellen Rowe, boarded their ship, the Ardent Vanguard, a sleek, silver-class interceptor capable of rapid warp maneuvers and advanced sensor sweeps. The vessel hummed to life as AI systems synchronized with the cadets' neural interfaces, ready to anticipate, adapt, and correct any errors in their piloting, targeting, or tactical execution. As the fleet launched toward the Nebary Void, the expanse of space stretched before them like a canvas of possibilities and peril. The cadets were briefed on every known variable: gravitational anomalies, radiation pockets, asteroid density, and hypothetical encounters with unknown alien entities. The mission was to locate the lost outpost, determine the fate of the personnel stationed there, and neutralize any potential threats. The cadets understood that their success would be measured not by brute force, but by strategy, intelligence, and adaptability. Hours into the journey, Cadet Kellen Rowe monitored the energy readings from nearby nebula clouds. "Sensors are picking up fluctuations in graviton density," he reported. "Could be an unstable microwormhole cluster. Navigation through this sector will require precision and constant adjustment." Cadet Maris Vale grinned, fingers flying over the console. "Good thing we have predictive AI. We can calculate optimal trajectories, correct in real time, and avoid collisions. Let's see what these unpredictable zones have to throw at us." Indeed, the Nebary Void tested their limits almost immediately. Small asteroid fragments suddenly shifted their trajectories, influenced by unseen gravitational eddies. Sensor anomalies created phantom energy signatures, simulating enemy vessels. Radiation bursts interfered with communications, isolating ships for brief periods. The cadets faced a living simulation, chaotic, dangerous, yet rich in opportunity to apply their training. Cadet Lyra Kane took control of the Ardent Vanguard's navigation override. "Trust the AI," she said, her voice steady. "Feed data, adjust vectors, anticipate shifts. We are learning in real time. This is what humans do, we adapt faster than any environment or enemy can predict." The first encounter with the unknown came sooner than expected. A massive shadow loomed in the distance, a derelict Clytherian battleship, its hull scarred and twisted from centuries of neglect. Autonomous repair drones flitted around it, analyzing energy flows and structural integrity. Lyra's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "We are not just here to fight," she said. "We are here to understand, to learn. Every piece of data is a lesson in engineering, energy management, and alien design." The cadets approached carefully, scanning for residual energy sources and hidden traps. Cadet Jorentine adjusted the ship's shields, creating an energy reflection grid to intercept any unexpected plasma discharge. "If the Clytherians left automated defenses," he said, "we'll adapt. That's what humans do." The vessel hummed as the AI synchronized with the cadets' tactical commands. Sensors revealed microwarp conduits running through the hull, likely used for rapid energy redistribution. Maris Vale studied the data, her eyes wide. "This is brilliant engineering. If we can reverse engineer these systems, humanity could improve our energy networks tenfold. And surviving it, that's just a bonus." Even as they explored the derelict ship, a new challenge emerged. Smaller Clytherian drones, dormant for centuries, suddenly powered up, activating primitive defense protocols. The cadets quickly coordinated. Lyra piloted evasive maneuvers, Kellen calculated optimal trajectories for counter-deployment, Maris managed the energy shields, and Joran led drone interception. Each action was guided by intelligence, teamwork, and adaptive strategy, minimizing risk while maintaining operational effectiveness. By the end of the first engagement, the cadets had successfully neutralized the dormant drones and secured the derelict battleship for study. No human lives were lost. More importantly, every cadet had learned firsthand the principles of predictive analysis, real-time adaptation, and strategic coordination. They had faced the unknown and emerged stronger, wiser, and more capable. Captain Celine Myra transmitted a congratulatory message. "You have faced your first test and succeeded. Remember, this mission is not about heroism or recklessness. It is about learning, adapting, and demonstrating the capacity of humans to thrive in situations others deem impossible. Humanity does not shrink from fear, we turn it into mastery." As the fleet continued deeper into the Nebari void, cadets across all ships prepared for the next challenges: the lost outpost itself, potential alien encounters, and the navigation of increasingly unstable space phenomena. Each obstacle was an opportunity to apply intelligence, teamwork, and scientific principles. Every cadet understood the gravity of their mission, yet they faced it not with hesitation, but with eagerness. Humanity had proven that courage paired with intelligence could overcome even the most feared dangers. For Cadet Lyra Kane, Jorentine, Maris Vale, and Kellen Rowe, the journey had only just begun. The Nebari void was unforgiving, but it was also a classroom, the ultimate test of human ingenuity. They were cadets, yes, but they were also pioneers. Every maneuver, every decision, every calculation was not only a step toward survival but a lesson for the entire species. As the Ardent Vanguard led the cadet fleet deeper into the unknown, Lyra gazed out at the stars. "We were told this mission is impossible. That it's a suicide run. But humans do not shy away from impossibility. We learn. We adapt. We rise. And that is why we volunteered. Because this mission is exactly what we were born to do." The Nebari void stretched endlessly ahead, filled with mystery, danger, and opportunity. Humanity's cadets were ready. They had turned fear into preparation, chaos into strategy, and the unknown into a proving ground. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it as humans always did, with intelligence, unity, and unwavering courage. The cadet fleet entered the deeper Nebari void, where the stars thinned and cosmic radiation painted the void in faint violet streaks. Navigation here was treacherous. Even a minor miscalculation could send a ship spiraling into a micro-wormhole or colliding with dense asteroid clusters. The AI-assisted systems of the Ardent Vanguard and accompanying ships provided predictive trajectories, but the cadets knew that in uncharted space, human intuition and coordination were as crucial as advanced technology. Cadet Lyra Kane's fingers danced across the control panel. "Keep your focus tight. Sensors show fluctuating energy readings ahead. Could be remnants of the Clytherian defensive grid, or something else entirely." Cadet Jorentine leaned over the console, his eyes scanning the data feed. The readings are inconsistent. Some spikes suggest active energy sources, others are residual. Either way, we need to proceed cautiously. AI can predict patterns, but we interpret the unknown. Maris Vale adjusted the energy shields. I've reinforced the forward arrays. If we hit any surprises, we won't be fried instantly. Just, hopefully, we won't need to test them at full power. Her dry humor was met with laughter, a rare moment of levity amid the tension. Kellen Rowe, monitoring gravitational anomalies, spoke up. There's a micro-wormhole cluster forming ahead. We can't risk a direct warp jump. We'll need to thread through the asteroid belts, adjusting vectors in real time. This is going to test everything we've trained for. Captain Celine Myra's transmission echoed in their neural link. Remember, cadets, this mission is not about heroism or recklessness. It is about intelligence, adaptation, and unity. Every action you take should be calculated, every decision purposeful. Learn from the void. Observe, adapt, and act. The first real challenge emerged suddenly, a dense asteroid field, larger than any mapped in human history. The AI projected thousands of possible collision trajectories, but minor gravitational fluctuations made the calculations imperfect. Cadet Lyra took manual control for precision, using intuition to complement the AI. Follow my lead, she commanded. We will weave through this with coordination. Trust the system, trust each other. The fleet moved in synchronized arcs, weaving between massive asteroids. Energy shields absorbed minor collisions, while drones monitored for debris shifts and communicated in real time with each ship. A small misstep by any cadet could have resulted in disaster, but the squadron's training and teamwork kept them aligned. Every movement was both survival and an exercise in applied physics, demonstrating the real-time application of gravitational mechanics and momentum calculations. As they cleared the asteroid field, the sensors picked up signs of alien life. Not hostile, but not dormant either. A nebula cloud shimmered ahead, revealing the faint outlines of bioluminescent creatures, drifting through the void. Cadet Maris Vale adjusted the energy sensors to avoid interference with the creatures' navigation systems. We study them without harming them, she said. This is what humans do. We observe, adapt, and coexist where possible. Every encounter is a lesson in biology, physics, and ethics. The cadets' journey took a sudden turn when the long-silent outpost finally appeared on their sensors. Orbiting a shattered planet, the outpost was partially destroyed. Hull breaches and energy surges suggested violent attacks, yet no active hostiles were detected immediately. Cadet Jorentine's tactical analysis highlighted weak points in the outpost's energy shields. We can board without triggering structural collapse, he said. But we need to anticipate hidden defenses. The boarding party, Lyra, Joran, Maris, and Kellen, prepared their suits and weapon systems, integrating adaptive AI for navigation, energy shielding, and hazard detection. The airlock opened, revealing a labyrinth of damaged corridors, flickering lights, and eerie silence. The cadets moved carefully, mapping the environment in real time and feeding data back to the ardent vanguard. Suddenly, residual automated defenses activated. Turret systems, designed centuries ago, powered on unpredictably. Lyra took control of the override protocols, rerouting energy and manipulating the turret's targeting systems. We neutralize them without destruction, she ordered. Observation and adaptation are our weapons. Humanity does not need to destroy to survive, we adapt to learn and prevail. The cadets discovered data cores scattered across the outpost. Analysis revealed that the Clytherians had been engaged in experimental energy redistribution, an early attempt to harness micro-wormhole energy. However, instability had caused catastrophic system failures. Cadet Kellen Rowe studied the data with fascination. If we can reverse engineer this technology, humans could advance warp mechanics by decades. This mission isn't just survival, it's a scientific leap. As they explored further, a faint signal appeared, a distress beacon from surviving personnel hidden deep within the outpost. Cadet Maris Vale coordinated the approach, carefully avoiding collapsed corridors and unstable energy conduits. The beacon led them to a small section of the outpost still intact, housing 3 Clytherian scientists and engineers in cryogenic stasis. Humanity has a choice, Lyra said. We can rescue them, gain knowledge, and avoid unnecessary conflict, or ignore them. Our training teaches survival, yes, but our philosophy teaches wisdom, ethics, and ingenuity. The cadets worked to deactivate the stasis locks, employing AI predictive calculations to avoid triggering defensive failsafes. One by one, the alien scientists awakened, disoriented but unharmed. Communication was established using real-time translation matrices. The aliens, initially wary, recognized that humans had not caused further harm and had neutralized potential threats with intelligence rather than aggression. With the Clytherians rescued, the cadets transmitted their findings back to Terra Nova Station. The data included blueprints of the experimental energy systems, structural schematics of the outpost, and detailed logs of the catastrophic event. Every piece of information provided a real-time lesson in engineering, energy management, interspecies ethics, and problem-solving under pressure. As they prepared to leave the outpost, a new anomaly appeared on sensors, a rogue gravitational vortex forming near the planet. Its unpredictable oscillations threatened to trap ships in permanent orbit or fling them into deep space. Cadet Jorentine calculated escape trajectories while Lyra manually piloted the ardent Vanguard through the turbulent field. "We anticipate, we adapt, we survive," she said, her voice steady over the comms. The fleet followed, guided by real-time calculations and adaptive AI corrections. Once clear, the cadets regrouped and transmitted a final report. Captain Celine Myra addressed them. "This is more than a mission. It is a testament to the human spirit, intelligence, adaptability, ethics, and courage in the face of unknown danger. You have faced the void, engaged with the unexpected, and emerged stronger. Humanity does not shy from fear, we transform it into mastery, strategy, and learning. Today, you are no longer cadets in training. You are pioneers of the human legacy in the galaxy." As the fleet charted a course back toward Terra Nova Station, Lyra Kane, Jorentine, Maris Vale, and Kellen Rowe reflected on their journey. The Nebari Void had been a classroom, a proving ground, and a test of human potential. They had faced what others feared, learned from every challenge, and emerged capable of shaping the future of human exploration. Cadet Lyra gazed out at the endless expanse of stars. "They called this a suicide mission," she said quietly. "They were wrong. Humanity does not fear the impossible. We rise, we adapt, and we teach the galaxy what it means to face the unknown. And this is only the beginning." The Nebari Void stretched behind them, filled with danger, mystery, and lessons yet to be learned. Humanity's cadets had proven that intelligence, preparation, and unity were stronger than fear. The journey ahead promised even greater challenges, but for these pioneers, every obstacle was an opportunity to demonstrate the true power of human ingenuity. The cadet fleet emerged from the Nebari Void into a region known only in fragmented charts as the Cathari Expanse. Stars here were sparse, and the remnants of destroyed planetary systems littered the void. The sensor grids registered dozens of rogue gravitational fields, radiation anomalies, and drifting debris. The Clytherian data recovered from the outpost hinted at more than mere spatial instability. There were traces of artificial manipulation, as though some force had deliberately altered the natural gravitational patterns. Cadet Lyra Kane leaned forward in the pilot seat of the ardent Vanguard, scanning the field. "This is no natural formation," she said. "Look at the graviton density fluctuations, they are precise, patterned. Someone or something engineered this chaos." Cadet Jorentine adjusted his targeting interface. "The rogue gravities could tear ships apart, but we can navigate through them if we stay coordinated. AI predicts a 97% safe passage if we maintain precise formation and continuously adjust our vectors." Cadet Maris Vale tightened her grip on the energy shield controls. "We'll need continuous adjustments. Even minor deviations could result in catastrophic collisions or shield failures. Keep an eye on the drones, they are our first line of defense against unexpected debris." Cadet Kellen Rowe studied the holographic projection of the expanse. "This is a perfect example of applied physics. Every maneuver we perform will be calculated in real time using gravitational equations, energy conservation principles, and orbital mechanics. If we succeed, it's not just survival, it's a demonstration of human mastery of science under pressure." Captain Celine Myra's transmission cut in. "Cadets, remember your objective, locate the next relay beacon, gather data on the anomalous fields, and be prepared for unknown encounters. Observe, adapt, and document everything. Humanity's survival depends not just on courage, but on intelligence and strategy." As the cadets navigated deeper into the expanse, the first major challenge emerged. A cluster of massive, jagged asteroids shifted unpredictably, guided by artificial gravitational forces. Autonomous drones deployed micro-repulsor fields to stabilize smaller debris, but the larger rocks required manual piloting. Lyra adjusted the Vanguard's trajectory, weaving between the obstacles with precision. "Focus on energy efficiency," she said. "Every thruster burst counts. Our AI predicts optimal paths, but human judgment is required for real-time anomalies. Joran coordinated the fleet, relaying micro-adjustments to each cadet ship. Maintain relative positions. One wrong move, and we risk a chain reaction. Humanity relies on precision, adaptability, and cooperation. Act accordingly. They emerged from the cluster only to encounter something entirely unexpected, a massive energy web spanning hundreds of kilometers, glowing with shifting hues of violet and turquoise. Sensors indicated a dense concentration of artificial energy conduits, likely left by an unknown alien intelligence. The web hummed with power, destabilizing nearby graviton fields and sending small rogue asteroids careening unpredictably. Cadet Meris scanned the energy signature. This is advanced energy manipulation. The Clytherians never achieved this level. Whoever made this has knowledge of gravitational engineering far beyond anything humanity has encountered, yet. Lyra made a quick decision. We cannot engage blindly. We'll send a drone swarm first. Map the web, identify weak points, and relay data. Joran, coordinate a safe path for the fleet. The drone swarm deployed, weaving through the energy conduits with synchronized precision. Some drones were destroyed as they encountered energy surges, but each loss provided valuable data. The AI processed the information in real time, feeding the cadets predictive patterns for safe navigation. Every loss is a lesson, Lyra said. This is what humans do. We learn, adapt, and overcome. No failure is wasted. After careful analysis, the cadets identified the web's control nodes. Kellen formulated a plan. They would create a temporary feedback loop using the drones, destabilizing the web just long enough for the fleet to pass safely without causing catastrophic energy surges. The operation was executed flawlessly. Drones established a controlled interference pattern, redirecting energy flows and creating a corridor through the web. Ships moved through with precision, navigating gravitational anomalies, energy surges, and rogue debris. Humanity's combination of predictive AI, scientific knowledge, and teamwork allowed them to conquer a hazard that would have destroyed a conventional fleet. Once clear of the energy web, the cadets detected a distress signal emanating from a small, partially destroyed moon. Initial scans suggested life signs, Clytherian or otherwise. Captain Myra's voice resonated through their neural link. You are to investigate, secure, and, if possible, rescue. Proceed with caution. Unknown variables may include environmental hazards and hostile forces. The cadets landed on the moon's surface, finding a small contingent of alien researchers trapped within a collapsed facility. Structural instability and radiation spikes complicated the rescue. Meris Vale deployed energy support fields to stabilize the environment, while Jorantine calculated safe paths through the debris. Lyra led the extraction, demonstrating calm leadership and rapid decision-making. The rescued researchers revealed critical information. A rogue faction of Clytherian engineers had attempted to harness the energy web to create a massive gravitational weapon capable of destabilizing entire systems. Their experiments had failed catastrophically, leaving behind the chaotic anomalies now threatening the galaxy. Kellen Rowe analyzed the data. If left unchecked, these anomalies could disrupt trade routes, destabilize neighboring star systems, and threaten human colonies. We must neutralize them, not through combat alone, but by understanding, adapting, and applying scientific principles. The cadets returned to their ships, transmitting all findings to Terra Nova Station. The mission had already become a success. They had navigated lethal anomalies, rescued alien scientists, and gathered invaluable data on advanced energy manipulation. Yet they knew the most dangerous challenges lay ahead, the core of the Clytherian anomalies, where the rogue faction had last operated. As the fleet regrouped, Lyra reflected on the lesson of the Cathari Expanse. Humanity's strength was not just in courage or firepower, it was in intelligence, adaptability, and unity. Every obstacle had been a classroom: gravitational physics, energy management, predictive strategy, and ethical decision-making. The cadets were learning not just to survive, but to master the universe's challenges. Captain Myra's final message echoed as they prepared to enter the next sector. You have faced the unknown and prevailed. Remember, this mission is about more than survival. It is about demonstrating humanity's ability to adapt, learn, and innovate in the face of impossible odds. Keep your minds sharp, your coordination precise, and your principles intact. The universe watches, and humans rise where others falter. The Nebari void was behind them, the Cathari Expanse had tested them. Ahead lay uncharted systems, gravitational anomalies, and remnants of rogue alien technology. humanities cadets were no longer just trainees, they were pioneers of strategy, science, and HFY resilience. Cadet Lyra Kane looked out at the stars ahead. They called this a suicide mission, she whispered. We've turned it into a lesson, for ourselves, for humanity, and for every species that underestimates us. And this is only the beginning. The cadet fleet advanced beyond the Cathari expanse into the Viridin Rift, a turbulent sector of space where stars were sparse and magnetic storms raged unpredictably. The region was infamous for destroying navigation systems, scrambling energy shields, and producing violent gravitational fluctuations. Only the most advanced AI and human ingenuity could ensure survival. Cadet Lyra Kane adjusted the Ardent Vanguard sensors to filter out the magnetic interference. The rift is alive, she said, her voice calm but alert. These fluctuations aren't random. We need to interpret them, adapt, and move in precise formation. Any misstep could destroy the fleet. Cadet Joran Tyne studied the holographic map of the rift. According to our simulations, there are 3 possible safe corridors. Each is narrow and bordered by magnetic turbulence strong enough to tear a conventional ship apart. Our AI can predict trajectories, but will need human intuition to adjust for anomalies in real time. Maris Vale monitored the energy shields, reinforcing sections vulnerable to magnetic surges. These bursts aren't consistent, she reported. We'll need continuous adjustments. Everyone, stay focused, this is the perfect test of applied science and teamwork. Kellen Rose studied the graviton readings. There's more than turbulence here. Something is actively shaping the magnetic fields, artificial manipulation. Either rogue Clytherian tech or something else entirely. We should proceed with caution. Captain Celine Myra's voice resonated through their neural link. Cadets, this sector will test everything you've learned: predictive modeling, real-time adaptation, and coordination under extreme conditions. Your training will be your greatest asset. Observe, analyze, and act with intelligence and precision. As they navigated deeper, the fleet encountered their first major threat, a series of energy tendrils extending across the rift, each hundreds of kilometers long, pulsing with unstable plasma. Sensors indicated that these were remnants of a Clytherian experiment, plasma conduits meant to generate controlled energy flows but left uncontrolled after the collapse of the rogue faction. Cadet Lyra took the lead. We can't fire blindly. Any disruption could create catastrophic chain reactions. We'll thread through them using predictive AI and manual adjustments. The fleet moved carefully. Each ship's trajectory was continuously recalculated to avoid interference with the energy tendrils. The AI predicted energy surges, while the cadets used intuition and judgment to fine-tune their paths. Drones were deployed to absorb minor plasma bursts and feed real-time data to the ships. During the maneuver, one of the smaller cadet vessels, piloted by Cadet Myra Thane, experienced a shield malfunction due to a sudden energy spike. Lyra quickly coordinated a rescue. Kellen, adjust the plasma dampeners. Maris, reinforce their energy matrix. Joran, prepare a rapid towing vector. We don't leave anyone behind. The coordinated effort succeeded. The malfunctioning ship was stabilized, its crew unharmed. The incident reinforced a critical lesson: human judgment, rapid communication, and teamwork could overcome technological limitations even under extreme conditions. After clearing the energy tendrils, the cadets detected faint transmissions coming from an abandoned Clytherian research station deep within the rift. The signals indicated automated defense systems still active, guarding experimental energy cores. Captain Myra's instruction was clear: recover the data cores and neutralize any potential hazards. The boarding party, consisting of Lyra, Joran, Maris, and Kellen, docked at the station's perimeter. The structure was in ruins, corridors partially collapsed, and energy readings unstable. Automated defense drones activated immediately, targeting intruders. Lyra's team engaged with precision. Drones were redirected using AI-assisted electromagnetic pulses, energy shields absorbed minor plasma strikes, and careful coordination allowed the cadets to advance without damage to the station or themselves. Inside, the cadets discovered energy cores linked to micro-wormhole generators, experimental devices capable of manipulating spacetime on a small scale. The cores were volatile. Improper handling could trigger a catastrophic implosion. Cadet Kellen Rowe carefully analyzed the energy flows. We must stabilize the cores before extraction. Any sudden energy surge could destroy the station and damage the surrounding rift. Using adaptive AI and manual adjustments, the cadets synchronized energy pulses, stabilizing the cores long enough to transport them back to the Ardent Vanguard. Maris Vale monitored containment fields while Lyra piloted the ship through the now more unstable sections of the rift. The mission required exact timing, coordination, and understanding of advanced physics principles, a perfect test of HFY strategy and ingenuity. As the fleet regrouped, sensors detected unexpected activity, small, fast-moving craft approaching at high velocity. They were remnants of the rogue Clytherian faction, likely alerted by residual signals from the research station. Unlike the previous encounters, these ships were fully operational, aggressive, and unpredictable. Jorentine quickly assessed the situation. They're trying to ambush us using the rift's turbulence to their advantage. Standard combat won't work. We need adaptive strategy and coordinated maneuvers. The cadets executed a complex flanking maneuver. Lyra piloted the Vanguard through a narrow corridor, drawing enemy fire, while Joran coordinated the other cadet ships to intercept from multiple vectors. Energy shields were dynamically adjusted to absorb and redirect plasma blasts, and drones provided real-time repairs and tactical support. Despite being outnumbered, the cadets' coordination and intelligence gave them the advantage. They avoided the enemy's ambush, neutralized several attackers, and forced the rest into retreat. The engagement showcased the HFY principle: intelligence, strategy, and adaptability could overcome superior numbers and raw firepower. With the immediate threat neutralized, the cadets focused on extracting the data cores and analyzing the Clytherian experiments. The cores contained vast knowledge about microwormhole dynamics, energy manipulation, and gravitational engineering, technologies that could revolutionize human space exploration if studied and applied responsibly. Captain Myra's voice came through. Cadets, your actions today exemplify the human spirit. You faced chaos, danger, and intelligent opposition, and you prevailed through strategy, science, and teamwork. Humanity does not merely survive adversity, we learn from it, adapt to it, and master it. Every decision you made demonstrates the power of preparation, ingenuity, and unity. As the fleet charted a course out of the Veridan Rift, the cadets reflected on the lessons learned. The challenges of the sector had tested not only their skill but also their ability to apply knowledge under pressure. They had navigated complex energy anomalies, rescued critical technology, neutralized hostile forces, and returned with valuable scientific data. Cadet Lyra Kane looked out at the stars stretching endlessly ahead. They called this a suicide mission, she said quietly. They thought fear would break us. But we don't just survive, we learn, we adapt, and we rise. Every obstacle teaches us something new. Humanity is stronger than they ever imagined. The Veridan Rift was behind them, but the journey ahead promised even greater challenges: fully operational rogue factions, uncharted star systems, and unpredictable cosmic phenomena. Humanity's cadets were no longer mere trainees, they were pioneers of strategy, science, and HFY ingenuity, demonstrating that intelligence and adaptability could triumph over the most feared threats. The Nebari Void, Ketheri Expanse, and now the Veridan Rift had all become classrooms for the cadets. Every mission, every anomaly, every hostile encounter was a lesson in physics, strategy, energy management, and teamwork. Humanity's strength was not in recklessness or aggression, it was in the ability to learn, innovate, and overcome challenges that others deemed impossible. As the ardent Vanguard led the fleet toward the next sector, Cadet Jorentine remarked, "We're not just surviving. We're showing the galaxy what humans can do when fear is met with preparation, intelligence, and courage. This mission is exactly what we were meant for." Cadet Maris Vale smiled. "And just think, we're only halfway through. The real test is still ahead." The stars of the uncharted universe stretched before them, full of unknown dangers, opportunities, and lessons. Humanity's cadets were ready. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it as humans always did, with intelligence, unity, and the unyielding drive to learn, adapt, and triumph. The cadet fleet left the Veridan Rift behind, entering an area marked on old maps as the Oblivion Corridor, a sector so volatile that even veteran fleets avoided it. Stars here flickered irregularly, and the void itself seemed to pulse with unstable energy. Gravity wells shifted unpredictably, and radiation spikes occurred without warning. Cadet Lyra Kane adjusted the ardent Vanguard sensors, filtering the interference. "This corridor is unlike anything we've seen," she said. "Every prediction we make will have errors. We must rely on intuition, adaptation, and continuous observation. The margin for error is minimal." Cadet Jorentine analyzed the holographic projections of the sector. "According to our calculations, there are 3 primary paths through the corridor. Each has significant risk: debris clusters, energy turbulence, and gravitational anomalies. Our AI can guide us, but human oversight will determine survival. Maris Vale monitored the energy shields. The fluctuations here are extreme. Even a microsecond delay in adjustments could overload the shields. Keep an eye on your instruments, we cannot afford complacency. Kellen Rowe, studying gravitational distortions, added, the patterns suggest deliberate manipulation. Someone, or something, is controlling the corridor's hazards. Our sensors may not detect all threats until we are right upon them. Proceed carefully. Captain Celine Myra's voice cut through the neural link. Cadets, the Oblivion Corridor will test your skill, intelligence, and unity. Predictive calculations, adaptability, and teamwork are your weapons. Every decision matters. Learn from the corridor. Survive, but also observe, analyze, and document everything. Humanity's success depends on your mastery of these challenges. As they advanced, the first threat revealed itself, a field of rogue energy tendrils, remnants of Clytherian experimental weapons, intertwined with magnetic turbulence and drifting debris. The tendrils pulsed unpredictably, capable of slicing through even heavily shielded hulls. Lyra took the lead. We navigate manually, threading between the energy tendrils. AI can assist, but we must anticipate anomalies in real time. The fleet moved with careful precision. Each cadet ship continuously recalculated its trajectory, compensating for sudden energy surges, shifting debris, and gravitational distortions. Drones deployed stabilizing microfields to divert small fragments while feeding data to the fleet's AI. A minor collision occurred when a fragment pierced the shield of a smaller cadet vessel. Maris Vale immediately reinforced the shields and coordinated repairs. Every failure teaches us something, she said. The AI predicts patterns, but human judgment saves lives. Once clear of the energy field, the cadets detected signs of a Clytherian presence, rogue ships, faster and more aggressive than anything previously encountered. These vessels were relics of the faction responsible for destabilizing the Nebari Void and Veridin Rift. Unlike previous encounters, these ships demonstrated coordinated tactics, using the corridor's hazards to their advantage. Joran Tyne assessed the situation. They're using the environment as a weapon. Standard attack patterns won't work. We need adaptive strategies, coordinated maneuvers, and predictive AI assistance. The cadets executed a complex flanking maneuver. Lyra piloted the Vanguard through a narrow corridor, drawing enemy fire, while Joran coordinated the other ships to intercept from multiple vectors. Energy shields dynamically absorbed and redirected plasma blasts, and drones provided tactical repairs and support. Despite being outnumbered, the cadets' intelligence and coordination gave them the upper hand. They neutralized the rogue Clytherian ships and forced the rest into retreat. The encounter demonstrated the HFY principle: human ingenuity, adaptability, and teamwork could overcome superior numbers and raw firepower. With the immediate threat neutralized, the cadets focused on the core objective, the Clytherian Energy Nexus, a massive facility deep within the corridor designed to harness gravitational anomalies and manipulate energy flows across entire star systems. Upon arrival, they found the Nexus heavily fortified with energy shields, automated defenses, and structural traps. Boarding required a combination of science, strategy, and teamwork. Lyra, Joran, Maris, and Kellen formed the boarding party, deploying adaptive AI drones to map interior corridors and neutralize automated systems. The Nexus interior was labyrinthine. Energy conduits hummed with raw power, and corridors shifted slightly due to gravitational instability. The cadets moved with precision, using sensors, predictive modeling, and real-time communication to navigate without triggering traps. Suddenly, automated defenses activated, plasma turrets, magnetic repulsors, and drone swarms targeted the intruders. Lyra coordinated the team. Focus on neutralization, not destruction. We need data and intact systems. AI, calculate interception paths, shields, absorb and redirect energy, drones, stabilize conduits. The cadets advanced, overcoming each defense with strategy rather than brute force. Every maneuver required understanding energy flows, gravitational shifts, and AI predictions. They learned not just to survive, but to turn the environment and the Nexus's own systems against it. In the central chamber, they discovered the Nexus's control cores, massive energy nodes stabilizing gravitational manipulation across the corridor. The cores were volatile. Improper handling could collapse the entire facility and create catastrophic spacetime disruptions. Kellen Rowe analyzed the cores. We must synchronize energy stabilization pulses with precise timing and trajectory calculations. One mistake and the facility collapses, possibly creating a singularity. Lyra and Joran executed the stabilization procedure, coordinating drone-assisted energy modulation. The cores hummed and glowed, their chaotic energy gradually stabilizing under human guidance. Maris Vale monitored containment shields, adjusting for fluctuating energy flows. After hours of precise operation, the cores stabilized. The cadets had successfully neutralized the threat without destruction. The rogue Clytherian technology was preserved for study, and the corridor's hazards became navigable. Captain Myra's voice resonated. Cadets, you have demonstrated the true essence of humanity: intelligence, adaptability, and coordination. You faced chaos engineered by another species and turned it into an opportunity for learning and mastery. This is HFY in action. Remember, our strength lies not in aggression, but in preparation, ingenuity, and unity. The cadets transmitted the Nexus data back to Terra Nova Station. Analysis revealed insights into gravitational engineering, energy management, and autonomous system control far beyond current human capabilities. Humanity's understanding of space-time manipulation had just taken a monumental leap. As they prepared to leave the corridor, sensors detected movement at the edge of the sector, a fleet of rogue Clytherian reinforcements, likely alerted by residual signals. Lyra glanced at her team. We've learned from the corridor. We know their tactics, their weaknesses, and how to adapt. This next engagement will test everything we've mastered so far. The cadet fleet adjusted formation, combining predictive AI, real-time communication, and advanced maneuvers. They prepared for the approaching Clytherian fleet, confident in their ability to turn fear into strategy. For the first time, every cadet understood the full weight of the mission. They had entered what everyone feared, survived, learned, and emerged stronger. Their training, intelligence, and unity had transformed a supposed suicide mission into a triumph of human capability. Cadet Lyra Kane gazed at the approaching enemy fleet. They thought we would fail. They thought fear would break us. But humans don't just survive. We learn, adapt, and overcome. And the universe will remember that. The stars of the Oblivion corridor stretched endlessly ahead, filled with danger, opportunity, and lessons. Humanity's cadets were ready to face whatever awaited, demonstrating that intelligence, preparation, and unity could overcome even the most feared threats. The cadet fleet held position at the edge of the Oblivion corridor, sensors locked on the approaching Clytherian reinforcement fleet. These ships were sleek, fast, and heavily armed, designed for combat in hazardous space. The rogue faction had clearly learned from previous encounters, employing adaptive maneuvers and using the corridor's gravitational distortions to their advantage. Cadet Lyra Kane leaned forward in the pilot seat of the Ardent Vanguard, scanning the enemy formation. They've learned our patterns. They expect us to follow standard tactics. We won't. Joran, deploy countermaneuvers that exploit the gravitational anomalies. They'll be forced into inefficiency. Jorantine's fingers flew over the tactical console. Acknowledged. Coordinating fleet patterns now. Our AI will predict their optimal response and suggest variations for us to exploit. Humanity doesn't just react, we innovate. Maris Vale monitored the energy shields of every cadet ship. The enemy's weapons are adaptive. Standard shield calibration won't hold. We need dynamic shielding, continuously adjusting to plasma intensity and frequency. Cadets, stay alert, one miscalculation could cost lives. Kellen Rowe analyzed the gravitational distortions ahead. The corridor itself is a weapon. We can't fight in standard formation. We need to use the anomalies to our advantage, forcing their fleet into paths that waste energy and create openings for attack. Captain Celine Myra's transmission came through, steady and commanding. Cadets, this is the test you've been preparing for. Your knowledge, adaptability, and teamwork will determine the outcome. Remember, humanity thrives where others falter. Observe, adapt, and overcome. As the enemy fleet entered the corridor, they immediately found themselves constrained by the unstable gravities. Ships veered unexpectedly, plasma volleys missed targets, and drones struggled to maintain formations. Lyra took advantage of every fluctuation, guiding the Ardent Vanguard and the fleet in complex, adaptive maneuvers that turned the hazards into tools. Joran coordinated with each cadet ship, issuing real-time instructions. Adjust vector by 1.3 degrees starboard. Energy pulse recalibration by 5%. Kellen, prepare to exploit the next gravity spike. The fleet moved as a single entity, human intuition complementing predictive AI to navigate deadly conditions. The first engagement began when the rogue Clytherian fleet attempted a concentrated plasma strike. Lyra anticipated the maneuver, directing the fleet through a narrow gravitational channel, forcing enemy plasma to disperse and dissipate harmlessly against asteroids. Maris Vale recalibrated energy shields to absorb remaining energy, while drones intercepted debris fragments accelerated by the blasts. The cadets counterattacked with precision. Adaptive plasma pulses targeted vulnerable hulls of enemy vessels, while small interceptor drones disrupted their navigation systems. One by one, the rogue ships faltered, forced into unpredictable paths by the cadets' mastery of the corridor's hazards. Kellen Rowe identified the core of the enemy formation, a massive flagship controlling both gravitational anomalies and tactical coordination. That's the heart of their fleet. Disable it, and the rest will lose cohesion. We can do it, precision and timing are key. Lyra devised a multi-pronged strategy. She piloted the Vanguard directly toward the flagship, drawing its attention and energy. Joran led the fleet in flanking maneuvers, exploiting gaps created by gravitational turbulence. Maris monitored shield performance and energy reserves, ensuring that no ship succumbed to overload. Kellen calculated the precise trajectory needed to fire micrograviton disruptors, destabilizing the flagship's energy matrix without causing catastrophic collapse. The attack unfolded with precision. The flagship's systems destabilized under the coordinated assault, plasma weapons misfiring, drones collapsing mid-flight, and energy flows destabilizing. One final graviton disruptor, fired by Kellen's calculations and guided by Lyra's maneuvers, caused a controlled core destabilization, rendering the flagship immobile and forcing a surrender. The remaining Clytherian ships, now disorganized and leaderless, attempted to retreat, but the cadet fleet's adaptive maneuvers anticipated their paths. Plasma pulses, drone interception, and gravitational manipulation forced them into safe containment zones, neutralizing their threat without unnecessary destruction. Captain Myra's voice echoed through the neural link. Cadets, you have demonstrated humanity at its finest: intelligence, innovation, and coordination. You have overcome superior numbers and hostile technology through mastery of science, strategy, and teamwork. This is HFY at its peak. With the rogue fleet neutralized, the cadets focused on securing the Clytherian data cores, experimental energy nodes, and mapping the Oblivion corridor for safe passage. The AI recorded every adaptive maneuver, energy modulation, and gravitational exploitation, providing a wealth of data for future missions. Lyra Kane reflected on the battle. They called this a suicide mission. They thought fear would stop us. But humans don't fear the impossible. We learn from it. We adapt. We overcome. Today, we turned a death trap into a classroom, a battlefield into a demonstration of human ingenuity. Joran Tyne grinned. And the best part? We did it together. Each of us, using intelligence, teamwork, and observation, made the impossible possible. Humanity doesn't just survive. We thrive. Maris Vale smiled. Every hazard taught us something: shield dynamics, plasma behavior, gravitational manipulation. We've turned danger into knowledge. That's how humans win. Kellen Rowe added, and this knowledge isn't just for survival. It advances our science, our understanding of the universe, and our capability to navigate and control phenomena that other species fear. Humanity's strength lies in learning from every challenge. The cadet fleet emerged from the Oblivion corridor into stable space, carrying with them the knowledge and technology gathered from the rogue Clytherians, the Nebari Void, and the Veridan Rift. Humanity had not only survived but had mastered threats considered insurmountable. Captain Myra addressed the cadets one last time before returning to Terra Nova Station. This mission will be remembered not for fear or danger, but for intelligence, strategy, and human ingenuity. You have set a new standard for exploration, combat, and survival. Remember, our strength is not in recklessness or aggression, but in preparation, learning, and unity. Humanity rises where others falter. As the ardent vanguard led the fleet home, the cadets gazed out at the stars stretching endlessly before them. They had entered what everyone feared, faced seemingly insurmountable challenges, and emerged triumphant. The Nebari Void, Ketheri Expanse, Veridan Rift, and Oblivion Corridor had all become classrooms, teaching the cadets lessons in physics, energy management, tactical strategy, and teamwork. Lyra Kane whispered to her team, they called this a suicide mission. But we've turned fear into mastery. Every star we pass, every hazard we overcome, proves what humans are capable of. We adapt, we innovate, and we rise. That is what it means to be human. The fleet sailed onward toward Terra Nova Station, carrying the legacy of knowledge, courage, and HFY spirit. Humanity had faced the impossible, learned from it, and emerged stronger. The universe had witnessed a demonstration of human potential, where intelligence and adaptability triumphed over fear, danger, and chaos. The cadet fleet approached Terra Nova Station, its sprawling structure gleaming against the backdrop of a distant star cluster. Flags of humanity fluttered across the station's docking bays, a symbol of resilience, knowledge, and the unyielding spirit of its people. The mission that began as what many feared would be a suicide run had transformed into a testament of human ingenuity, courage, and unity. Cadet Lyra Kane led the ardent vanguard into the docking corridor. Every ship in the fleet followed in precise formation, a choreography born of countless hours of training, danger, and adaptation. The fleet sensors were still scanning for residual threats, but none remained. The rogue Clytherian faction had been neutralized, and the dangerous anomalies of the Nebari Void, Ketheri Expanse, Veridon Rift, and Oblivion Corridor had been mapped and studied. Docking protocols engaged, Maris Vale reported. Shield stable. Energy cores secured. All data streams intact. We are ready to report. Jorentine smiled, tension finally easing from his shoulders. It's surreal. We've faced what was supposed to kill us, and now we're returning with more knowledge than many fleets gather in decades. Kellen Rowe analyzed the final readings from the Clytherian cores. The technology here, it's revolutionary. Microwormhole stabilization, energy redistribution, gravitational manipulation. Humans now have the tools to advance interstellar navigation and research far beyond our previous limits. And we've learned it ethically, without unnecessary destruction. As the cadets docked, Captain Celine Myra's voice resonated across the fleet and the station. Cadets, you have returned victorious. Not because you fought with brute force alone, but because you embodied the principles of humanity: intelligence, adaptability, strategy, and unity. You faced unknown hazards, hostile forces, and potential catastrophe, and transformed every challenge into an opportunity for learning and mastery. This is what humanity does. This is HFY at its finest. The docking bays erupted in celebration. Station personnel, scientists, and fellow cadets cheered as the fleet's ships completed docking procedures. The cadets disembarked, greeted as heroes, but their minds were already analyzing the mission's outcomes and implications. Every encounter had provided lessons in physics, energy management, strategic coordination, and interspecies ethics. In the mission debriefing hall, the cadets presented their findings to the Terra Nova Council. Holographic projections displayed data from the Clytherian cores, navigational paths through the hazardous sectors, and detailed analyses of rogue faction tactics. Lyra Kane addressed the council. We have documented every hazard, every anomaly, and every encounter. Our observations are not just about survival, they are about mastery. The universe is unpredictable, but humans adapt, learn, and overcome. We have transformed fear into knowledge, chaos into strategy, and danger into advancement. Jorentine added, the rogue Clytherian faction underestimated human ingenuity. They believed fear would control us. But humans do not submit to fear. We use it as a tool to refine our skills, improve our understanding, and develop strategies that turn the impossible into achievable objectives. Maris Vale presented energy analyses. The adaptive shielding methods and dynamic energy modulation we employed can be standardized for future fleets. These techniques will not only save lives but also allow humanity to navigate hazardous regions previously considered impassable. Kellen Rowe concluded with scientific insight. The microwormhole data, gravitational manipulation techniques, and energy redistribution methods provide the foundation for a new era of exploration. Humanity now possesses the means to study, understand, and safely traverse regions of space that once were untouchable. The lessons from the Nebari Void, Ketheri Expanse, Veridon Rift, and Oblivion Corridor will guide generations of explorers. The council members nodded, recognizing the magnitude of the cadets' accomplishments. Captain Myra spoke again. These cadets have exemplified the core of human potential. They faced what many considered insurmountable, and they have returned not just with survival, but with mastery, understanding, and innovation. Let this mission serve as a blueprint for humanity's future in the galaxy. After the formal debriefing, the cadets were given time to review the collected data and reflect on their journey. Lyra Kane stood before the observation deck, gazing at the stars stretching beyond Terra Nova Station. We were told this mission would be our end, she said softly. They called it impossible, suicidal, foolish. But we turned every fear into knowledge. Every threat became a lesson. And in doing so, we've shown the galaxy that humans rise where others falter. Jorentine joined her, a grin on his face. We've done more than survive. We've advanced our understanding, proven our capability, and set a new standard for what humanity can achieve. Every challenge we faced, every obstacle we overcame, adds to the legacy we leave behind. Merisvale added, and we've done it without unnecessary destruction. Every life preserved, every technology studied responsibly. That's the difference humanity brings. We don't just conquer, we learn, innovate, and thrive ethically. Kellen Rowe looked at the holographic projection of the Clytherian cores. The knowledge we've gained is invaluable. But it's not just about technology. It's about how humans think, adapt, and work together. That is the true power of our species. That is what HFY means. As the cadets prepared to return to their quarters, Captain Myra gathered them one final time. Remember this mission. Remember the lessons of the Nebari Void, the Ketheri Expanse, the Veridan Rift, and the Oblivion Corridor. Humanity does not shy away from fear, danger, or the unknown. We face it, study it, and master it. Your actions will inspire generations. You have turned what was meant to be a suicide mission into a legacy of ingenuity, courage, and the indomitable human spirit. The cadets departed the debriefing hall, their minds alive with possibilities. Humanity now possessed the knowledge to navigate the most dangerous regions of space, to understand and harness advanced alien technologies, and to approach the unknown with intelligence and ethical foresight. As Terra Nova Station rotated slowly in orbit around its star, the cadets looked out at the infinite expanse of space. Every challenge they had faced, every anomaly they had studied, and every enemy they had confronted had become a lesson in physics, strategy, teamwork, and human ingenuity. Lyra Kane whispered, "They called it impossible. They called it suicidal. But humans don't just survive the impossible. We learn from it. We adapt to it. We rise above it. And today, we've shown the galaxy exactly what that means." The fleet's success echoed throughout human-controlled space. Intelligence, adaptability, and unity had prevailed where others would have faltered. Humanity's cadets were no longer simply trainees, they were pioneers, educators, and defenders of a species capable of overcoming the impossible. The stars beyond Terra Nova Station sparkled like lessons yet to be learned, adventures yet to be undertaken, and challenges yet to be faced. Humanity had risen from fear, mastered danger, and left a mark that would echo across the galaxy. And as the cadets gazed outward, they understood that the journey was far from over. Humanity would continue to explore, to learn, and to demonstrate that in the vast, unpredictable universe, the human spirit could always rise above the impossible. The Nebari Void, Ketheri Expanse, Veridan Rift, and Oblivion Corridor had tested them. Humanity had passed every trial. The galaxy now knew the truth. Humans were not merely survivors, they were innovators, strategists, and pioneers capable of transforming fear into mastery, danger into knowledge, and challenges into triumphs. And with that, the cadets began preparing for the next chapter in humanity's journey, ready to face the unknown with intelligence, courage, and unity, the very essence of what it meant to be human.